The purpose of my conversation is simply to challenge the women, but I can see that the women have already challenged themselves in Nigeria. So I'm just going to say congratulations, because what we're seeing today is unprecedented. I applaud you, and I applaud myself because I consider myself one of you with AY. So congratulations! If you're sitting here, you made it, because some statistics say that women control less than 2% of the real estate market globally. So in Nigeria, we're bucking the trend because we are actually doing better. The question is, why are we doing that, or how are we doing that, right? So 21.5% of real estate businesses are owned by women. 21.5%. So we're talking statistics now. But in South Africa, it's 50-50. The women of South Africa are on the job day and night. They don't take any of that, you're restricted because you're female. They don't take any of that. So they are 50-50. In the US, for every 11 men that own something in the real estate industry, it's one woman. So Nigeria is actually light years ahead of the US when it comes to female entrepreneurship. And why is that? We grew up with that. Every mother in Nigeria, when we were growing up, sold something. It didn't matter what it was. It could be water, salt, pepper. It could be, oh, my daughter goes to this school, they use brown school belts, I'm going to sell school belts. We grew up watching our mothers do this. And so it was almost automatic for us to say, oh, so what? Because at the end of the day, sales is sales is sales is sales. A doctor sells medicine, a teacher sells education, a lawyer sells legal advice, a real estate professional sells expertise in the real estate industry. So, maybe go to the next page, please. Thank you. So why is there a divide? Why is it not 50-50? Why is it not 50-50? Societal norms. That's the biggest thing. We live in societies in the world where the Bible puts the woman subservient, the Quran puts the woman subservient, Ifa puts the woman subservient. The woman is seen not as the helpmate that God said we should be, but as a chattel. And so we're not expected to make anything of ourselves. So, the business terrain, we are held to different standards. In the US, for every dollar a man earns, a woman earns 70 cents. The same job, the woman probably does a better job because we're better managers. I hope you don't mind. But
Go ahead,
it's true.
I support you.
We're better managers, so we actually will do the same work in a lesser amount of time, but because the man has a woman at home taking care of the children and they can pretend to work for 18 hours of the day, there's this conception that women are 9-to-5ers. So we belong in teaching, which is 9 to 3, or we belong in the ministry, which is 9 to 3, or worst case scenario, we belong in a company as a secretary, which is 9 to 5. So we're held to different standards, which means we have this little woman concept. Oh, she's just a woman. Why go? They're all women. So there's that little woman concept. And so there's always been talk of a glass ceiling, but in some cases it's actually a concrete ceiling. It is opaque. You have to, jackhammer your way through it. And that's what we see in an industry like real estate and mortgages, because I'm going to talk about that because that's my end of the ball game, which is a male-dominated industry. It has always been a male-dominated industry. The man is supposed to build the house the woman is supposed to put the flowers on the table. So when we come to buck the trend, we're seen as unusual, as this exotic creature. You know, she's different. When in fact, we're just selling something else. All you're doing is selling a commodity that you happen to know something about. But it's not seen like that simply because of the term. So we have a tag, and this is supposed to be such an area of expertise that only men should be able to do it. So, when the investors come, they will automatically talk to the man. Let me tell you a story. I own a mortgage company. I have a Caucasian at my front desk. When you walk in my office, you're going to see the Caucasian and greet him first. I cannot tell you how many times people have come from companies where they've sent a delegation to come and, seek our business, right? And I happen to be near the front door, and I open the door. They walk straight past me to that white middle-aged guy, and they say, "Hi, you must be Mike," because I spell my name Nike. They call me Nikki, but I spell it Nike. So I spell it Nike. And they assume that it can't be a woman that owns the company. So that N must be an error, and it's really Mike. So they walk in the door and they say, "Oh, but hi, we're looking for Mike." And my front desk guy smiles because he's seen it over and over, and it's like a running joke. And he lets them come all the way to him, and he says, "Oh, hi, it's actually not Mike, it's Nikki." And you just walk past her. And then they do a rapid about turn, and all of a sudden they're, all smiles and putting their hands out, and I'm saying, "Yeah, hi, but you will be getting my business anyway, that's okay." But this is what we face as women. The automatic thing is she has to be the help, the guy has to be the owner, so why is that so prevalent? Why is there something that exists? It's really historical. It's really biblical. It's really Quranical. I don't know how to put that, but this is a trend that we're only now starting to be able to buck. And the challenge on us is to not just buck it, but to buck it with such class and grace and expertise that when you stand up to talk, there is no question that you belong where you are. That is the challenge that us women need to own and to accept and to make sure we carry out every single day.
It's interesting because I've been away, 20 years, and I came home for the first time last year. I've been home, 4 times in the last year, so I think I'm good on that. But I'm very impressed with the talent pool. We have, this is why the world is sitting up and taking notice of Nigeria. It's because we speak fluently, whatever language we speak, whether it be law, whether it be finance, whether it be real estate. We have a vast talent pool, and that's why you see the rapid development. So people here might be frustrated and thinking, "Oh, we're not moving." But for somebody like me, I actually see rapid movement, and we can only continue to support that and continue to push, for the industry to grow. But remember, it's not going to happen in one day or 1 year, maybe not in 10 years, maybe not in 20 years, but I see that progress, and hopefully we'll be able to sustain that.